Every dollar earned in this city flows upward, and at the very top, it all flows to you. You built this family from the ground up, and every man in it answers to your word alone. But before all of this, you were nothing, and the climb began at the very bottom of the ladder. You are an associate now, an outsider looking in, running small favors for men who barely notice your name. You park cars, carry messages, and sweep up, doing whatever small task the crew needs without being asked twice. Your pay is whatever they decide to hand you at the end of the night. No guaranteed cut, no seat at the table. You run numbers for a soldier on your block, collecting small bets from shopkeepers who pay without making eye contact. You kick up every penny you earn to the soldier above you, keeping just enough to cover your rent and nothing more. You are not protected by the family. If something goes wrong, you are entirely on your own with no one to call. You handle dirty tasks the made men prefer not to touch, keeping your complaints to yourself and your head down. Slowly, you earn a reputation for being reliable, and the soldier you work under begins to mention your name approvingly. You study how the men above you carry themselves, learning the unspoken rules that no one will ever explain directly to you. Months stretch into years, and still you wait, proving yourself one thankless errand at a time, dreaming of the day you get made. Then the word finally comes. You have been vouched for, and the family is ready to bring you in as one of their own. You take an oath in a closed room with senior members watching, and in that moment you become a made man, a soldier. Being made means the family now protects you. No one can touch you without facing consequences from the entire organization. You are assigned to a crew under a capo, who gives you your territory and tells you exactly what he expects each week. Your crew runs numbers, loan operations, and labor rackets, and every earner beneath you kicks their share up to you first. You now have associates of your own working under you, men in the same position you were in just a few years ago. You collect your earnings weekly, take your cut, and pass the rest up to your capo without question or delay. Status as a made man means access to the social club, to the right tables at restaurants, to conversations that matter. But made or not, the rules of the organization weigh on you constantly. There are strict codes you cannot afford to break. You resolve disputes among the associates below you, keeping your crew disciplined and productive for the capo above. Law enforcement has noticed your name, and you learn to be careful. Every conversation, every meeting now carries added risk. You earn steadily, build loyalty within your crew, and begin to understand that the next rung of the ladder is within reach. You have earned your own crew now, a handful of soldiers who answer only to you. Every week your soldiers bring their earnings upward, and your cut grows with each envelope. You divide territories among your men carefully, because overlap breeds conflict, and conflict draws attention. Your soldiers respect you not because they must, but because you have proven you can protect them. You answer directly to the underboss, which means your mistakes are never yours alone to carry. A dim social club on the corner holds the weekly sit-down where debts and favors are quietly settled. You mediate disputes between your men before they ever reach the underboss and embarrass you. Running a crew means you are constantly balancing ambition against the discipline the family demands. If one of your soldiers draws police attention, the problem lands squarely on your shoulders first. You have learned to read which men are loyal and which are merely waiting for a better offer. A stack of banded bills on a corner table reminds you that wealth here comes attached to obligation. You have survived long enough at this rank to understand that caution is not weakness but strategy. The underboss position is the engine of the family, running every moving part while the boss watches from above. You coordinate the capos beneath you, ensuring their crews produce without conflict and without drawing outside notice. Every significant dispute inside the family passes through you before it ever reaches the boss. A 1960s sedan idles at the curb outside a restaurant on a rainy city night, waiting. You move the family's earnings upward through layers of insulation so that nothing traces back to the boss. Your authority is second only to the boss, which makes you the most visible target for rivals and traitors alike. You have learned that proximity to power is itself a form of danger, because no one rises without threatening someone. When a capo fails to produce, you are the one who delivers consequences and demands explanations. A city street at midnight is quiet except for the distant movement of a single car turning a corner. The boss relies on you absolutely to translate his decisions into action across every level of the family. You have held this seat long enough to know that loyalty up and down is the only thing keeping you here. One step from the throne sounds like privilege, but the men who have stood here rarely died of old age. You carry the weight of the entire family's operations daily, and you carry it without ever letting it show. You hold no crew, no territory, yet every room goes quiet the moment you enter. Your value is not muscle but memory. You recall every promise, every debt, every slight. When two capos bring their grievance to the table, the boss looks to you first before speaking. You mediate disputes that, left unresolved, would cost the family far more than money. Secrets accumulate in you like sediment, and you understand that knowledge itself is dangerous. You carry messages between the boss and the outside world that can never be written down. Your authority is entirely informal, which makes it, paradoxically, almost impossible to challenge. You have watched 3 bosses rise and 2 bosses fall, and you are still standing in this room. The role demands you stay detached enough to advise clearly, but loyal enough to never betray. You sit at the very top now, and the entire pyramid rests on decisions only you can make. Every envelope that travels upward through the family eventually finds its way to your hands. The wealth is real, but so is the weight. Every rival, every informant, every federal agent watches you. You gave the order and it was carried out, and now you must live with what that means. Federal investigators have opened a file with your name on it, and they are patient, methodical men. Your underboss brings you numbers each week, but the numbers can no longer fully be trusted. You have more power than almost anyone in this city, and you have never been more isolated. A rival family sends a message through intermediaries, and you must decide whether to negotiate or resist. Paranoia is not weakness at this level. It is the only reasonable response to your circumstances. The loyalty you purchased with money and fear is always exactly as durable as those two things. When the indictment finally comes, you understand that someone inside gave the prosecutors exactly what they needed. The seat at the top was everything you worked toward, and it is costing you everything you once had. At every level of this ladder, the money flowed upward and the risk flowed steadily down. Almost no one who started at the bottom ever reached the top, and most were lost along the way. Those who did reach the summit rarely kept it. The structure that elevated them eventually consumed them. Every organization built on coercion carries within it the seeds of its own collapse. Remember that, and subscribe.